Hello friends, and welcome to today's video. We're doing something I haven't done in a while, but I do really enjoy making, which is a tier video. This time, because the year just ended, at least as of me filming this, we're doing my 2023 Apple Music Replay. I don't use Spotify, I use Apple Music, but my Apple Music Replay. I took the songs from there. I share my Apple Music with the bestie though, so we're not doing all 100 songs. I narrowed it down to like 60. And those are the songs we're doing. They're the songs that I feel like are mine, like the ones that I streamed onto there. Whether or not it was a joint effort is unrelated, but like they're my songs. They're the ones I'm willing to take credit for. Some disclaimers before we continue. First, I have a new setup actually. This is a Lego thing. It's cute. We're not going to get into it though. The more important thing is the Renaissance movie poster that I got. As fair warning, quite literally a third of this list is made up of Beyonce. So I figured Beyonce, given the fact she makes a very substantial presence in this tier list, she should also be present. So this is the poster I got when I saw the Renaissance movie. It's going to join me. Second disclaimer, this is my tier list. Like, if I didn't stream one of your songs into my Apple Music Replay, I'm so sorry. There are a lot of songs that I really like that didn't make it on here. So, like, don't take it personally. And also, these are just opinions. Where I put every song is an opinion. Because my feelings have changed on some of these songs. I say it in every review I make for like a new song, but I always warn you, my opinions may change. This is no different. My opinions changed on some of these songs, so we'll get into it. Okay, you should hopefully be seeing my screen if I did this right. Basically, tier list, songs. We're gonna get into it. Maybe I should have mentioned this in the disclaimers, I don't know, but I think it's more fun this way. These songs are also in like the order. Like when I do my tier lists for set lists for concerts, I put them in set list order. This is like Apple Music Replay order. So like Speed Drive was below Devil by the Window, which was below Move. And basically Speed Drive was at the bottom, Barbie Dreams was at the top. They're in order. Last thing before we begin, the tiers. Let's go over the tiers, shall we? Bottom tier, I had a moment. This is a very complex tier because it means I basically had like a week-long moment where I streamed the song on loop. Not to mean that I didn't stream it after that, but it means that for a very specific period of time, I streamed it a lot, and that's really why it's on here. It's not that it's on here because I love the song as much as some others, okay? Next tiers, pretty self-explanatory, great and top tier, just great songs, top tier songs, you get the idea. Constantly streaming is an interesting one because for this one, I need to be listening to it consistently. I feel like it needs consistent streaming to make it here. Otherwise, it's not there, okay? Then, Amazing God tier, again, very self-explanatory. Unhyperbolic Masterpiece is at the top because, for those who don't know, I have a playlist in my phone called Unhyperbolic Masterpieces. It is where I put what I consider to be the greatest songs ever. For a song to make it up here, I must have at least considered putting it in that playlist. If nothing else. Some songs did make it in the playlist, but like, I need to have thought about it. I need to have been like, you are genuinely one of the greatest songs ever, and I want you in my Unhyperbolic Masterpiece playlist. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna go in order, obviously. Starting at the bottom, we have Speed Drive by Charli XCX from the Barbie soundtrack. I think it's a great song. I don't think it's like a top tier, God tier song, but like, it's a great song still. Like, I really enjoy it. Next, we have Devil by the Window. I'm gonna put her in constantly streaming. I stream this song pretty often. It's not my favorite song. It's the least streamed song off that album. Spoilers, there's more songs off the Name, Chapter, Temptation on this list. But it's not my favorite song off that album, but I do stream it very consistently. Criminal Love by Enhypen, I had a moment for her. I do like the song a lot, but like, there was maybe a 3-day period where I listened to nothing but this song, and I feel like that just means it belongs in this tier. Next is Move by Beyonce. I think Move by Beyonce is a top tier song. Here's the thing. Renaissance, the album, is one of my favorite albums ever, but I think Move is on the weaker side, but okay, here's the thing. I should have explained this when I discussed Beyonce. I listened to the Renaissance tour set list a lot. That's why a lot of Beyonce songs are on here. Move is one of the weaker ones on that set list. However, because Beyonce doesn't have any bad songs, even if it's a weaker song, it's still a top tier song. Time Difference by Infinite, though, that is a God tier song. I'm sorry. That song brought me to tears when I first heard it, and I've listened to it constantly ever since. Like, it is truly a masterpiece, and you need to listen to it. New Days by Trends, constantly streaming for sure. I listen to the song all the time, but like in a very consistent manner. Here's the thing. I remember when it came out and I said this is good a tease. I think I said that to the bestie. Like, it's a good version of an ATEEZ song, and I stand by that. Like, this song is what I feel like the ATEEZ stands think ATEEZ is giving, and I feel like if they knew about the song, they'd really like it. Eve, Psyche, and Bluebeard's Wife, I'm putting her in top tier. I think, like, part of it could have gone in I Had a Moment, but I do listen to it enough that I think it deserves to not be in the bottom tier. Like, it is a top tier song for sure. I think it's probably LE SSERAFIM's best single, if we could call it that. But, like, it's a top tier song. It's going in top tier. Trip by Unite, I'm going to put in great. I think it's a great song. It's probably their best song, but I don't think it's, like, a top tier song, if you know what I mean. Special Love by Zodiac is an amazing song. I'm sorry. That is the song that turned me on to Zodiac, and it is like the epitome of cute, bright pop song, and I love it with all my heart and soul. No Problem by Nayeon featuring Felix. I'm actually putting it on Hyperbolic Masterpiece. I'm going to do it. Hear me out. If you asked me like a year ago, because this is on my Apple Music Replay for 2022 also, I would have put it in probably like Amazing or something, like mid to top tier. But like, the fact that it has been on my Apple Music Replay for 2 consecutive years is a power move. I love this song so much. It is probably my favorite song JYP Entertainment as a company has put out in the 2020s, like on Hyperbolic Masterpiece. Countdown by Beyonce. I don't actually think this was in the Renaissance Tour setlist, but I am going to put it in Constantly Streaming. I love Countdown. It is actually not my favorite song on 4. There's 2 songs on 4 that are way higher on this list, but like, it's such a good song. Like, it's a classic Beyonce song, and you have to respect it. Like, it's going in Constantly Streaming. Next is a Beyonce song I know was on the setlist because it's when Blue Ivy comes out, My Power. Amazing song. I love that song. I'm sorry, like, every part of it just hits so perfectly. It's an amazing song. Our third consecutive Beyonce song, Freedom, God tier song. But here's the thing with Freedom. Because this song was not on the Renaissance Tour setlist that I saw. I don't know if it was at one point, because it was like in the playlist. Apple Music had a Renaissance Tour setlist playlist. That's what I streamed. It was on there. However, I tried to keep my listenings very similar to the setlist she did at the concert. Like, for example, when I went to the Beyonce concert, she skipped the set that had All Up in Your Mind. All Up in Your Mind isn't on this list. Like, I didn't stream it. I would skip it because I wanted to relive my concert experience. Similarly, I would skip Summer Renaissance because I left before the finale, the encore, because I didn't want to get stuck in traffic of 50,000 people. Basically, Freedom was the exception to that rule. She did not perform Freedom when I saw her, but I love this song so much that, like, I had to keep streaming it, which is why it's going in God tier. Fly Girl by Flo. I'm going to put in amazing. I loved this song. It could have also gone in I Had a Moment because I did have a very real moment for the song. I don't even remember how I found this song. I'd never heard of Flo before. I know, like, who Missy Elliott is, but I don't pay attention to her enough to know, like, oh, she was featured in a new song, let me hear it. I probably just heard it on Twitter somewhere. I don't know. Either way, I'm so glad I did. I love this song so much. Like, if you haven't heard it, highly recommend. Don't Hurt Yourself by Beyonce, I'm going to put in top tier, and here's why, okay? I do like the song as a whole, but there's one part in particular that I really like, which is the part where she's shouting. That part I will listen to on loop. The rest of the song is good, but there were times where I would put on the song, skip to the part where she's shouting, and then move on with my day. Feeling Myself by Nicki Minaj featuring Beyonce is going in Constantly Streaming because I constantly stream not just Feeling Myself, but the Pink Print album. As a longtime Nicki stan, I've been, let's say, disappointed with her recent works, and I like to listen to her older music. So I stream her older albums a lot, including Feeling Myself. One of Your Girls by Troye Sivan, I am going to put in on Hyperbolic Masterpiece because I have a theory. Here's a theory, okay? If this song came out in February, it would be my most streamed song of 2023, or at least like top 10. The fact that it is this slow is due only to the fact that it came out so late in the year, but this song has me in a chokehold. I think about it all the time. Like, I was texting with one of my friends the other day, and I was like, I want this song to win a Grammy. Like, and not even like a small-time Grammy. Like, I want it to win Record of the Year. I think it deserves it. I think it's on that level. But, like, One of Your Girls by Troye Sivan is probably my favorite Troye Sivan song ever. And I used to listen to his, specifically the Blue Neighborhood album, all the time. And I think this is better than anything on there. The Savage remix, I'm actually going to put in I Had a Moment. I do really like the song, don't get me wrong, But I feel like had I not had a Beyonce moment this year, I wouldn't have streamed this song as much. Like, because first song's like Countdown, right? Like that song I love. I love Savage Remix, but I feel like it's just not on the same level as the other Beyonce songs we'll get to. And also, I don't think it's Megan Thee Stallion's best work. Next up is, I would say, a pretty unknown song. It's Eyes on Me by Hello Gloom, aka Eunjae from Imfact. If you remember Imfact, he's now Hello Gloom and he put out the song Eyes on Me. It's going in like a Hyperbolic Masterpiece. Okay, like this song, one of the greatest songs of 2023. Like if I were to make a top 10 songs of 2023, it would probably be on there. I love this song. If you're into like sort of like club dance pop songs, this is absolutely for you. And if you're not, you should still listen to it because I think it's one of the best songs ever. 6 Inch by Beyonce, I'm also going to put in I Had a Moment because I don't know why I streamed this song so much. Like I streamed it a lot, clearly, but I have no earthly idea why. And I don't know how, because there aren't a ton of Lemonade songs on here that were not on the Renaissance set list. I don't actually think there are. No, there's Don't Hurt Yourself. But like, for 6 Inch, I just don't know how it got here. Farewell Neverland by Tooks, I am going to put in great. I do think it's a great song. I stand by that. But I think of the songs off that album that are at least on this tier list, it's the weakest. I don't think it's on the same level as the other three, and it's just going to go in great. Memories by Rise is a complex one because verses take it into account. Like, if we were just talking chorus on Hyperbolic Masterpiece, for sure. But with the verses, I don't know where to put it. I'm going to put it dead center and Constantly Streaming. But I am conflicted because the verses just bring the song down so much. But it has the greatest chorus ever. Like, I'm conflicted. Private Dancer by Tina Turner, I'm putting in God tier. If you didn't watch the musicals I saw this year video, I saw the Tina Turner musical and fell in love with Tina Turner's catalog. Private Dancer was the one song that really like stuck with me. I stream it all the time. I did not know much of Tina Turner's music. I'm so glad I went to that musical. It was my favorite musical of the year. And just, oh, that song both in the show and in real life, it's God tier, I'm sorry. Candy by NCT Dream, I'm putting it amazing. I think it's an amazing song for sure because, like, it's a classic. Like, come on, it's Candy. It's so fun and it's so cute. Like, it's amazing. Church Girl by Beyonce is going in God tier. This was one of my, okay, for context, the friend that I went to the Beyonce concert with asked me at one point, they were like, what's your favorite song off Renaissance? And I was like, that is a complex question because it's been like 8 different songs. Church Girl was a staple for a while. Like, I just think it's so fun. Although, fun story that I think is really funny. When I was going through this, I was just like singing along because that's how my brain works. Like, I was singing each song as I was sorting them into the proper order and like downloading the image and whatnot. And when I got to Church Girl, I started singing that old I Want a Church Girl Who Go to Church vine, like that, and read her Bible. And I thought that was really funny and I wanted to share. 7 by Jungkook featuring Lotto. I'm going to put in amazing. I think this is what all the Bangtan solos wanted to be. Like, if they were all on this level, I would understand the hype. And if all the Bangtan titles were on this level, I would understand the hype. Like, yes, it's a soulless pop song, but it hits so perfectly, and it's just so fun. And my one thing, I hate the clean version. That's just a me thing. I hate the clean version of every song. But, like, the regular, the explicit, it just hits so perfect. I love it. In an absolute tonal shift, next we have The Babies, who are The Wind with We Go, and I'm putting it in God tier. The Wind, one of the best catalogs so far. Like, of the 2023 debuts, it's so strong. Like, they're really outselling musically, and I want them one day to be outselling in terms of literal sales. Speaking of outselling, next we have 17's Rock With You. I'm putting it in a Hyperbolic Masterpiece. It's similar to Nyan, where it's like, I loved this song when it came out and I streamed it constantly. And the fact that I've still been streaming it so much, it's just such a power move. And also, this is 17's best title. I cannot be convinced otherwise. Wasteland by Daniel, I'm debating between I Had a Moment and Great. I think it's going to go in Great because it is a great song. And I do think I like it enough, but like I definitely did have a moment for it when it came out, even though I'm Dying on the Hill, one of Daniel's strongest titles for sure. I want more that sound like it. Perfume by NCT Dojajang is also going to go in God tier. Here's the thing. Of all the NCT titles I've heard, which is all of them, Candy's my favorite. Candy is, in my opinion, their best title, but it's also not an NCT song. It's a hot song. And of the NCT originals, I think Perfume is the strongest. Definitely in the past several years. Like, we haven't had a song like Perfume. Plus, NCT Dojajang is all I wanted from NCT for years. I wanted them to just take members, give me a fun trio, and give that trio an album. It's all I want. It's what their concept is meant to be. And, like, it gets extra credit for that, but also the song itself is just so good. Formation by Beyonce, I'm putting it in top tier, and I feel like I need to defend that statement because I feel like it's very controversial. Here's the thing. I love Formation by Beyonce, but I don't think it's her best work. I think On Lemonade, one of her best works, but, like, in the catalog of Beyonce, I just think she has stronger songs specifically that are on this tier list, specifically that we will be getting to later. Speak of the Devil, Diva by Beyonce is a God tier song. I might have gone feral when this song came on when I was at the Renaissance concert. Like, I lost my mind, and if she'd done the full thing, I might have died of a heart attack. Like, Diva is one of my favorite Beyonce songs. It has been since I first heard it in, like, 2010, and I've loved it ever since. And, like, it's a God tier song. Black Parade by Beyonce. I'm gonna put it in constantly streaming. I feel like that's the proper tier for it. I feel like it's on par with the rest of the songs in that tier. Tinnitus by Tuxt, meanwhile, I am going to put in amazing just because I like it more than Devil by the Window. I feel like it needs to be a tier above it. And I stand by that Devil by the Window needs to be in constantly streaming. Ergo, therefore, as a result, Tinnitus needs to be in amazing. Yes or No by Jungkook is another complex one, because I could probably put it in any tier below amazing and be okay with that decision. Like, it is amazing. However, at the same time, it's also in I Had a Moment. Like, I had a moment for this song. I think we're going to split the difference. We're going to put it in top tier. But, like, I'm very conflicted and very complex. Very complex. Wild Heart by Lunate, on the other hand, is an easy one. Amazing song. One of... Would I say it's the strongest debut of 2023? No. But it's up there for sure. Like, it started them out with such a banger. I'm mad at the Unit song because of it. Like, it started them out so good that when their Unit put out a mid song, I was pissed. And I need, I want a full group comeback. I don't know where they are, but, like, I need them to return and I need more Wild Heart-esque vibes. We have officially hit the masterpiece songs by Gravity, and that's crazy. Baddie's the weakest, it's going in great, but, like, the fact that we just hit, spoilers, there's 3 others, and I think Baddie's the weakest, ergo it's going in great. Break My Soul by Beyonce, I am also going to put in constantly streaming because I feel like had it not been the lead single off of Renaissance, I would have streamed it a lot less, and had it just been, like, one of the B-sides, I would have still liked it a lot, but I don't think I would have gone so insane with it. However, I do still stream it constantly, so that's where it belongs. Get a Guitar by Rise, absolutely going in God tier. Best debut of 2023, I'm dying on that hill. I've thought about it and I stand by it. Like, they just started off so strong. It's such a fun song. It's such a good song. And it did so well, and frankly, it got what it deserves. Next Gravity song, Fly. It's also gonna go in amazing. It's amazing. Like, that opening alone is just so amazing, but just as a song, it's so fun, and I love it so much. 7-Eleven by Beyonce, I am going to put in constantly streaming with the caveat that had it not been on the Renaissance setlist, I definitely would not have streamed it nearly as much. Like, I enjoy the song, but that one setlist just got me so deeply, and had it not been there, it wouldn't have been this high. Nostalgia by B.O. is going in I Had a Moment because it is the catalyst for this tier. Story time. You ready for story time? One day I was at work and I was, like, running financials or something. I was doing something that required very intent focus, and I was like, okay, let me put on B.O.'s, like, album, and I hit shuffle and the song came on, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I started working and I completely blacked out, did not realize that I was listening to this song on loop until around 4 hours in, at which point it had already become my most streamed song of the year at that point, and I listened to it like 10 times since, so, like, it's absolutely I Had a Moment. Energy by Beyonce, I am going to put in amazing. And I have another story time for this one. This is less of a story time, more of just me weirdness, I guess we'll call it. For this song, because this is the Mute Challenge song, every once in a while, if I'm listening to it at work, and like I have earbuds in, I'll just pause the song when we hit mute, and I'll just exist on mute for like 10 seconds, and then I'll unmute. I just think it's a fun way to live life. I live my life with whimsy, and I would recommend others try it. What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish? I'm going to put in Constantly Streaming because I feel like this song was my depression era. It was when I was in an existential crisis and I streamed this song a lot. But even now, like, I do still listen to it a lot, just not as much as I did when I was in my existential crisis. Next is School and Life by Beyonce. And can I make a controversial statement before I place this? I think this is Beyonce's best song, and it's going in a hyperbolic masterpiece. I think of her pop songs, this is the pinnacle. I think it is the best. I rediscovered this song, let's say, when earlier this year I decided to listen to her entire discography, and I heard this song and I just became obsessed, and I was in like February, and I listened to it all the time, and I love it so much. Like, on the off chance you've just forgotten about it because you don't listen to 4 enough, or you only listen to her singles or whatever, listen to School and Life. You will not be disappointed. Our final Tooks song is Sugar Rush Ride. I'm putting it in amazing, but I do want to give a caveat for this one too. I feel like I would have liked it less had it come after good Tooks titles. Like, had this come out when, say, I don't know, Loser Lover came out or something like that, I would have liked it less. I think it coming out right after Good Boy Gone Bad helped it tremendously, but either way, it's still an amazing song. Cozy by Beyonce, I'm also gonna put in amazing. I feel like that's where it belongs. I feel like that's what it deserves, and that's what I stand by. Alien Superstar, however, I am actually gonna put in God tier. This was my first favorite song on Renaissance, the album. There's something about it that hits so different for me, and like, it's a God tier song. Next Beyonce song, I Was Here, on Hyperbolic Masterpiece. This is I Was Here. This is from when she performed it at the UN, and here's my thing with Beyonce songs, okay? I feel like this is a perfect way to describe why I put the song where it is. There are songs I like more than I Was Here. There are several Beyonce songs I like more than I Was Here. But I Was Here is a song that actually, like, I listen to it and I want to change the world. Like, I want to actively make the world a better place. And it has just insane effects on me. This is a song I listen to before job interviews. This is a song I listen to when I, like, have a big thing at work that I need to do well on. This song makes me want to make a difference in society, and it has demonic effects on me. A to Z by Gravity, I'm going to put in Constantly Streaming because most of the reason it's this high is the Bestie. This is the Besties. At least at the B-sides, it's her favorite, I'm pretty sure. And she streamed it more than I did. If I was in charge, it would be lower. But, like, it's still a constantly streaming song. Like, I do listen to it a lot. Heated by Beyonce, I am also going to put a God tier. How Alien Superstar was my original favorite. Heated is my current favorite. And yeah, God tier. Don't Need Your Love, I'm going to put it on Hyperbolic Masterpiece. I feel like it's similar to No Problem and Rock With You, where just, I've streamed it nonstop since it came out. The fact that this song is years old and it was, what is it, number 9 on my 2023 Apple Music replay, that's a power move, and that alone puts it in this tier. Gods by NewJeans, on the other hand, I'm putting in I Had a Moment. This song, hear me out, it's not that I don't like the song, but it would not have been my 8th most streamed song of 2023, okay? There were like 2 days after it came out. This was the only song I listened to it. That's the only reason it's this high. Covet by Beyonce, I'm putting in amazing. It's similar to Break My Soul. Had this not been like a single off the album, I probably wouldn't have streamed it as much, but it is still an amazing song, and I stand by placing it here. Broken Melodies, I'm also going to put in amazing, actually, because I think had it been the lead single, it would have done numbers for me, like, in my spirit. I've always said pre-releases count as titles, like, that's the hill I'm dying on. And in that mindset, this is definitely the strongest Dream title that's originally a Dream song that they've put out in many a year. And just in general, like, of NCT titles, it's one of the better ones. Sugar the Fever, I'm putting in God tier, and I want to elaborate on this one as well, similarly to how I have a billion Renaissance songs on here because I went to the Renaissance concert and I needed to emotionally process that experience by listening to the setlist on loop. Sugar the Fever, I fell in love with, let's call it, when I went to the Dream concert, and just in the lead up to the Dream concert, I forgot how much I loved this song. and I have since tried to remedy that situation by listening to it constantly, as you can tell by it being, what is it? My 5th most streamed song of the year. Groovy by CRAVITY, also going in God tier. This is the song that made me a CRAVITY fan. Like, I got into CRAVITY as a direct result of this song's existence. And, like, not only is that a power move, it's also by far their best title. And am I willing to say the best title from Starship? Definitely amongst boy groups, at least in recent memory. IVE is too powerful, it's too hard to tell, but of boy groups, definitely the strongest thing Starship's put out in like a decade. Back to the City by Kep1er, I am also putting in God tier. Yes, there's a trend in my defense. This is the top tier. Like, we've made it to the top of my tier list. And Back to the City, absolute bop, absolute banger. It almost got me into Kep1er. I didn't, but like, I was close. Best Friend Ever, I'm not going to put in God tier. I am going to put it in Amazing because I think had it not been by NCT Dream, I wouldn't have streamed it so much, but I'm an insane Dream stan, and here we are. Last but not least, we have Barbie Dreams by 50/50, and I'm putting it on a Hyperbolic Masterpiece because this song, it's off the Barbie soundtrack, and it is everything I wanted from a Barbie song. Like, I listened to the Barbie album a lot, and yet this song, like, it is all I wanted. I've loved it since I first heard it. And, like, I listen to it all the time. To this day, I have the time of my life when it comes on. It's an unhyperbolic masterpiece. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun. This was fun for me to make, if nothing else, and I make my videos for me, so I had fun. I hope you did too. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. Or don't. I'll be okay either way. And comment whatever you wish in the comment section because I can't stop you. Also, yeah, that's all I have for you today, actually. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!